Hello everybody, welcome back to Fifield Junction, and once again I've got another review for you today. Today's loco that we've got, it's going to be something a little bit different. It's something that I've never done before. It's by Bachmann, as we can see, and it's a Class 90 that we've got for us today. Now, I've never looked at an electric locomotive before, or even an electric model, well, full stop really. I've done obviously a few Class 800s, there's a few Class 800s that I've done, but they're by modal units, not fully electric. This locomotive is electric through and through, so it's going to be quite special because I've never looked at an electric only model before. Now, why have I got this model? Well, it's not actually mine. This has been very kindly lent to me by a very good friend, so that I can do this review for you, and also so basically I can have a go with it and see what it's like. Because it was very unlikely that I was ever going to buy one. There's no electrification where my layout is based, so the likelihood of me ever getting one of these, it was very unlikely. It was very unlikely to ever happen, really. So it's very, very kind, very, very sweet that I've been lent this so I can have a look at it and see what it's like. Now, the Bachmann Class 90, it's been out for a few years now, but it's not mega old. I believe it came out in 2019, so getting on for 5 years now. So been out for a while, so I'm sure many people are familiar with it and have seen it. But then again, you might not be familiar with it. You might not have seen one of these or own one of these. Now, the Class 90s in real life, they've been going for a while. They built 50 of them, so not the most mass-produced loco ever, but still plenty, I suppose. Built between 1987 and 1990, I believe it was. 2 of them are still going today with LSL, and 24 of them are still going with Freightliner. However, the other 24 that were all owned by DB, they have sadly been withdrawn. They are currently in storage, so what's going to happen to those in the future, I guess we'll just have to see. But at least quite a lot of them are still going, which is nice, because they are quite nice locomotives, I think. I do quite like them. I think they look very, very nice. But it's a shame that not all of them are still going, but they're getting on now for over 30 years, so maybe it is time that they start getting rid of them and getting something better. But who knows, we might see some of them come back out. Now, the Class 90 by Bachmann, it's certainly not the cheapest model in the world. The RRP for these, this particular one isn't currently on Bachmann's website. However, quite a lot of the other liveries are, and the RRP for these is £230, so very, very expensive RRP. However, if you don't want to pay that, and I certainly recommend you don't, if you want to get these for a good price, TMC currently have these for £160, which is a lot better value, I think. I'd still say maybe a tad on the expensive side, but very, very mildly on the expensive side. Certainly not too bad value for money, considering how modern these are, considering that they have working pantographs that you can raise yourself on DCC. I'd say feature-wise, the value for money there isn't too bad at all. Now, the price for this particular one, it wasn't that much. It was slightly less money than that, than what TMC are charging. So certainly value for money at the moment doesn't seem too bad, I think. I think it was about £150 that was paid for this loco. But it has been chipped, by the way. It's been chipped with a decoder and everything. So I would say the value for the decoders as well, considering that you need a special decoder for these. So I believe the decoders are about £30, something like that, for the decoders that you need for these. So overall price paid about £180, something like that. So value for money at the moment, so far, it doesn't seem too bad, I think. Now, this particular one that we've got in front of us, it's EWS, as we can see, it's 9T030, and it's named Crew Locomotive Works, which I think is quite a cool name, quite nice. If we look at the end of the box, not that end, so look at the other end, would be a bit more useful. There we go. So the model code for this particular one, if you want it, it's 32-619, Class 90, 9T030, Crew Locomotive Works, EWS, 21-pin DCC ready, so it's the 21-pin decoder that you need for these. However, it is the specialist Class 90 decoder that you need for these because of the working pantograph that these have. You do need to buy a special decoder for them, which Bachmann have done. So don't use a standard 21-pin decoder for these. You do need to get the actual one for this loco, which Bachmann have done. Because if you use a standard 21-pin decoder in these, you do risk damaging the pantograph mechanism. So yeah, definitely don't want to do that. So do make sure you do your research. Make sure you're getting the right decoder for these. And then fingers crossed, you should all be good. But anyway, enough rambling on. Let's take the sleeve off, get her out, and have a look. So she has already been running and everything, so we don't need to worry about doing that. She's had a good run in each direction. She's had a quick wheel clean to make sure everything's nice and clean, that she's going to pick up well. So we'll put it to one side. We'll have a look at the instructions first. Let's put the box to one side. So we've got the instructions for the Bachmann Class 90. So it starts on the front. So here we go. So Class 90 electric locomotive, owner's information. So it should detail all the usual stuff that we're used to. So it talks about the type of motor, DCC compatibility, talks about the decoder that you need somewhere. There we go, recommended decoder. So Bachmann 36-569A is the code for the decoder that you need for these. Speaker, factory fitted to all models, so I'm guessing it's just the typical sugar cube speaker that's factory fitted. Pickup, all wheels, that's good. Working pantograph, we'll see more of that later. The accessories, so lots of accessories by the looks, and I believe the accessory pack is in the bottom of the pack. Yeah, it's just there, so we'll have a quick look at that in a moment. So you can see lots of accessories, various hoses, pipes, couplings, chain links, plenty of detail to add for yourself if you want to. Open up the instructions and you should see a bit more. So it's got a bit about the buffers there, about how you can retract them and lock them, like some of them did in real life, which is quite cool. Inserting a more realistic balance, so you can take out the coupling pockets and everything and do that if you want to. That's quite cool. More functionality about the lights. I'm guessing this is more for DC users, so you can turn off and turn on various lighting functions on DC with the switches, which is quite good. More about the pantograph, so how to raise it on DC, because obviously you won't be able to control the pantograph on DC by raising it up and down. That's a feature only on DCC. So if you want to raise the pantograph, it talks about how to unclip it and how to raise it. So if you don't want to damage it, because that could be a very painful repair. A bit about lubrication, so where to put the oil, you don't need much, very tiny amount. So on the axles, the gears, everywhere that you should need it. A bit about sound decoder and DCC fitting. So if you want to take the body off, it looks like it's just 4 screws, so it's nice and easy. A bit there about how you can remove the panels, so you don't have to take the body off to fit a chip on this if you don't want to, which is cool. A bit like on a Cura scale doing on some of their models. To take off the roof panel, which I believe, so that's what you need to take the 4 screws out for actually. So take out those 4 screws and then you can lift the panel off, and then you've got nice easy access there to the decoder sockets inside, which is nice and easy. I still think Cura could have done it better with the magnets, but this is still not a terrible feature really. It's still nice and easy, providing those screws come out easily, of course. A bit there about the functions on the decoder, and we'll get to see those later because this loco has had one fitted. A bit about some more accessories there, and I believe on the back of the rest of it is just warranty and all that rubbish. Yeah, so I'm not interested in that. So that's all good. They do tell you everything you need to know. So we'll slide off this plastic out a bit, take that off, which should give us access to the detail pack. So we'll have a quick look at this. Just untape it. There we go. So inside we can see you've got all the usual stuff. So we've got some nice etched metal nameplates, should you want to fit them yourself, but obviously I won't be going to because this isn't mine. And then we can see there all the various details. So we've got all those hoses. So it looks like we've got some of the balances and everything, and some cables. There's some spare screws in there, I think, for stuff as well. So everything you need, should you want to detail the model up and make it look a bit more realistic, it's all there should you need to do it, which is good. So well done there, Bachmann. But anyway, with that out of the way, I think we can finally look at the loco. So we'll just lift this up, get the plastic out of the way, and then we can grab the loco, then lift her out. There we go. And then we can put the packaging to one side. And there we are. So if we pick her up, be very, very careful. We don't want to damage anything. And there we are. And wow, just look at this. I mean, it's Bachmann, so we knew it was going to be good, didn't we? I'm pretty sure. I'm sure most of us thought that. But I think first things first, that catches your eye is the livery application. Just look at that. It's been so well done. There's no blemishes anywhere. It's all been beautifully applied. It's got a nice, beautiful sort of satin sheen to it as well. You have to ignore my fingerprints. You've got the tamper printed nameplates there as well, but obviously you've got the etched metal one should you want to fit it. But even though, despite that's tamper printed, it's got a very nice finish to it. Very well done. The grills on the side, I'm not sure if they're separately fitted or not, but they've been very, very well moulded. So I think they look perfectly good, don't they? I don't think you can ask for too much more better than that, really. Very, very well done. You've also got that pantograph on the top. So if you want to raise it on DC, and obviously you can't raise it on DC without using a decoder, then you should be able to unclip it. I'm not going to try, but you can unclip it and raise it and have it up if you want to. The roof detail is not too bad. So you've got some nice sort of mesh grills on the top here, and they look very, very nice. Then all of the other overhead equipment has been done very well as well. The underframe detail is exceptional as well. You can see all of that pipe work there. It's all been painted. There's even little warning signs there on the underframe in the middle. It's so nice. It's been beautifully molded as well. I can't see any issues with it. I'm not sure if that's a bit of a mark there, or if that's just part of the molding. I'm not too sure. It might be a bit of a scuff, but then again, this model isn't brand new. I believe it was bought second hand actually. But still, despite that, it's in remarkable condition. I can't see any problems with it. The handrails are not separately fitted, which is a bit of a shame, I think, especially with how expensive this is. Those handrails should be separately fitted, really. They might be, but they certainly don't. I don't think they look the best in the world. I think they are just part of the moulding. However, they have been very well painted, which is nice, but still, I think they should have been separately fitted for the price. But not too bad, I suppose. The buffers are sprung, as you'd expect, which is very nice. And even though there's no detailing has been fitted yet, we've still got some nice detailing fitted from the factory on the front there. We've got some nice hoses, some nice electrical sockets, I believe they are. All been very nicely fitted, very nicely moulded. The cab detail it's not too bad. Some of it's been painted, but I wouldn't say it's the best looking cab in the world. Again, for the price, I think you should expect better and you should get more for your money. So overall, it's not terrible, but I still think that cab should be a little bit better for the money. I think you probably should have a driver in there, a bit more painted detail in there, maybe some lighting. Well, I say lighting, it has got cab lighting, as there we go, we can see there, we've got the LED in the top there. But I think there should be a bit more detail in there for the price anyway. If this was cheaper, then it wouldn't be too bad, but considering how expensive these are at the RRP, I think the cab detail should be a bit better really, and again those handrails. But overall, all things considered, she's beautiful. She's a beautiful loco. She weighs a lot as well, plenty of weight there. She's going to haul well, I'm pretty sure. Should be able to handle some nice heavy trains. Got the coupling at the other end, and they are kinematic couplings. And they move quite well as well. Usually kinematic couplings, from my experience and in my opinion, I wouldn't say they're the best, but this coupling certainly does move quite well. When kinematic couplings do work, they do work well, but when they don't work well, yeah, they do cause issues. But this one seems to be okay. The lights are going to light up, as I'm sure you'd expect. So we should see some nice variation in the lighting features later when we try them out. Got a running number on the end again, and some warning signs. Again, the other cab, again, not too bad, but I think, again, should be better. Bit of dust on the top there, have to excuse that. But yeah, overall, all things considered, she's a beautiful loco, I think. There isn't really too much to complain about. I think apart from those handrails and the cab detail, overall the detail and the delivery application, I can't fault it. It's beautiful, very nicely detailed, nicely weighted. Overall, I can't really complain about her. So I think next thing we need to do is put her on the track and see how she runs. Okay, so here we are, back up by the layout once again. So we just grab the loco and put her on, should be nice and easy. There we go, not too many wheels to get on. So there we go, all ready to go. So she's already got the chip fitted, obviously, so let's see what functions we can do. So function 0 should be the lights, so if we press those, and yeah, I believe we have got them. If I just move it back a bit, hopefully you can see there, we've got the headlights, and they look pretty good as well, I think, not too bad. Change direction, and we should get some tail lights. Yeah, there we go. Again, they're not probably the best in the world, but I'd say certainly for this loco and basically the era that it belongs to, I'd say overall they don't look too bad. Certainly some very nice lighting, I think. But if we get coming back the other way again, now if we press function 1, we should get some cab lights. And there we go, yeah, not too bad. So I think then a nice temperature. Now if we change direction, we should get them in the other cab. Yeah, there we go, hopefully you can see that there. They are on. But go the other way again and turn those off. Now function 2, I believe, is the braking function. I don't think it actually does anything. Function 3 will turn the lights off at one end. I don't know which end. Oh yeah, it's this end. So hopefully you can see there the lights have gone off. So basically whatever you do now, whichever direction you're going in, you won't get any lights at this end. So it's good if you're hauling a train from this end. Obviously we're not, so we can turn that off. Function 4 though will do the lights at the other end. So that'll be quite useful because we've got the coupling at this end. If we've got a rake of wagons behind it, then we can turn off the lights at that end, so we basically don't get any, which is obviously realistic for when you're hauling a train. So that's not too bad. Function 5, I believe this is the nighttime mode for the lights. I could be wrong though. Is it doing anything? Yeah, no, it's not doing anything. Unless function, it might be function 2 then. That's maybe on the for the nighttime lights. Nope, still not getting any. I believe it does have the nighttime mode though, so I've managed to do it before, unless it's function 4. No, that's that one. 3. Okay, there we go. So function 3 is the nighttime lights. There we go. So function 5 obviously turns off the lights at the other end then, so that's fair enough. Function 6 is the pantograph, so we might as well put that up. If I just bring it back towards the camera a bit for you, so it doesn't go out of shot when we raise it. So function 6. Yeah, there we go. So very, very cool feature, I think. It's very, very nice that we're able to do this in model railways now. Also in analog, you can't do it, which is a bit of a shame, but it's understandable because analog does have its restrictions, unfortunately, with the functionality of various lights and so on locos. But for digital, very, very nice feature and definitely worth the money, I think. So obviously we might as well leave that up when we're running up, so it will look a bit more realistic, and obviously we want to see what she's like with the pantograph up. So I think all that was left to do is to give her some power and get her going. So let's give her some power and see what happens. There we go, and so let's see what she's like around the layout. Okay, so she's still speeding up, so the acceleration and deceleration is set quite high. Still speeding up. Okay, I think we will slow down a bit. Don't want to go too fast. But yeah, overall, not too bad. Very smooth performance, nice and quiet. Can't fault it really. Still slowing down. There we go, I think she's got to her speed now. Yeah, overall, I can't fault it. Beautiful loco, beautiful runner. Overall, don't think there's much else you can ask for really. But I think she's looking a bit lonely running around the layouts with no train behind her. Now, I don't really have any stock really that will suit her, to be honest. Don't really have any coaches or wagons that would look realistic behind her. But I do have a DVT, so I think what I might do is stick that on behind her and we'll get her hauling that. So it'll be better than nothing, I suppose, won't it? So I'll quickly stop her, hook up the DVT, and then we can get her going again. Okay, so here we are, only been a second or two for you. So as we can see, we've now got the DVT on. I know it's obviously not the best thing in the world, probably not the most realistic, but it does happen. I have seen it happen before in videos and stuff. So it'd be better than nothing. Might as well get her hauling something at least around the layout. So I've turned the lights off at this end of the loco, obviously to be a bit more realistic. And then we've got the tail lights of the DVT I've then got illuminated because, well, got to have that done, haven't we? So all that's left to do then is give her some power, once again, for the second time in the video, and see what she's like hauling the DVT. And we'll go a bit fast this time as well, I think. Well, overall, I think this is a beautiful loco from Bachmann. They've definitely done a fantastic job on this. If you want one of these, I can definitely recommend it. They're beautifully detailed, beautifully decorated, and they run absolutely amazingly as well. Incredibly smooth, very, very quiet. It's basically all you can ask for, I think, in a loco. I would say that a tiny bit of improvement in some of the details would be good, especially I think those handrails by the cab doors and the cab detail I think should be a little bit better, especially for the money as well. But overall, a beautiful locomotive. And now for some ratings for the Bachmann EWS Class 90. So the detail on the model, overall, I can't really fault it. The only two things for me that I think they let the model down ever so slightly, especially for the money, is the handrails inside of the cabs. Again, I think they should be separately fitted for the price. And the cab detail, as nice as it is, it's not too bad, but I do feel that for the money, there should be a bit more detail in there. Some figures wouldn't go amiss. It would be nice to have some crew in the cab, and just a little bit more painted detail here and there. I think we'll just bring the model up a little bit more. But overall, apart from those very, very minor things, everywhere else in the model is very well done. Lots of underframe detail, a beautiful livery application, the roof detail is very well done as well. You've got a metal pantograph. Overall, the loco is very, very good. It's just those couple of very minor things that I think could be better for the money, but overall, all things considered, not too bad at all with detail. The performance of the model, I just can't fault it. The model runs beautifully, it's nice and smooth, nice and consistent. You just can't ask for much better. It's definitely one of the best performers I think I've seen so far. Really can't fault it at all, definitely a 10 out of 10 performer. The quality of the loco as well, I just can't let it down really. I think the model's very well quality, very, very good quality. Very well built, very well decorated. I just don't think you can ask for much better. You've got plenty of features, lots of functionality of the lighting on DCC. Again, you've got that operating pantograph that you can raise and lower on DCC. Just really, really good quality, I think. I just don't think you can ask for much better. The value for money was a bit of a difficult one, I think, for this model. With the RRP of £230, I do feel that is quite a lot of money for what this model is. Not absolutely terrible, I think. I think there are a lot of other models out there that are way, way worse. However, I still think this model is overpriced for what it is. The discount price currently at TMC for £160 is a lot better, and the price for this particular one that was paid was £150. So I've sort of split the difference between the two. I think the discounted price is more of a 9 or a 10. The RRP I would say is more a 6 or a 7. So I've split the difference. I've gone 8 out of 10. I think that is probably about right for this model. Definitely don't pay the RRP, but if you can get it as cheap as you can, for example, the price that was paid here, or the discount price again like at TMC, I think that's definitely much more the value that really you're looking for with this model. So overall, not too bad value, but I do think it could be ever so slightly better, again, given the RRP. So that's an overall score of 9.25 out of 10. Very well deserved, a beautiful model. I can highly recommend it.